Hello and welcome. It's day 9 of RPG a Day. I can't remember what day of the week it is, and it doesn't matter. You guys should be able to look on your computer. The question today is, how has a game surprised you? So why don't we start with whoever can speak first?
I think that'd be me this
I
time.
was hoping we were going to have this long moment of dead space.
So how a game has surprised me primarily through actions of what players and stuff do, but then again also just what some games will provide to players and then how the players use those resources. Best example is Against the Giant Giant Slayer campaign for Pathfinder. It's an adventure path that's, I think it's one of their weaker ones. It's primarily pure combat. It gets pretty boring pretty quick. Well, in one of the books, you get a Belt of the Earth Elemental, which allows you to turn into a greater Earth Elemental for up to 10 hours a day. Give that to a player with the profession Engineer. Have another player have the profession Cartographer levitate him up above a giant camp and let him sketch out the map. Then give that map to the Engineer. He plots out how much it would take to undermine the stuff and how long it would take to get from point A, the safe point, to said area as an Earth Elemental, burrowing underneath, destroying everything, and then go. And they did this for the first part of Book 4, where you have to undermine a giant army. You have to make the morale go away. This is the beginning of the book. The book is supposed to take 2 or 3 sessions for part 1 alone, maybe more, because you gotta sneak around and do all this kind of stuff. Took them 2 hours. First half of the book done in 2 hours, because they literally collapsed the mountain. All because of this one fucking belt. And invisibility, and silent spell on a cleric who could cast things silently, being able to summon the frost giant god's favorite animal, and just get people more freaked out, while killing off foraging parties because they'd have to cross their base camp. Yeah, took them 2 hours. It was kind of great. But yeah, that's how the game surprised me. I had to get up from the table and just go outside and scream because I was so irked. And I was happy my players were that intelligent. I was irked at the writing of the module.
Rise up!
Pretty much.
So, okay, mine's more general as a game itself, as a whole thing. So, I only played a little bit of 5th edition. I mostly played Paizo, Pathfinder in general, because when the move from 3.5 to 4 happened, I hated it.
Everybody hated it.
Changed my mind.
Most
I
people
hated it. So when 5th edition came out, I didn't care. I didn't care at all. I never looked at the books. I knew it was just going to be different, and I was used to Pathfinder. I liked what I liked. And then Ted decided to run a game and invited me, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I looked at things oh, this is all simplified. It's all really basic. And the more I looked at it, I went oh no, there's actually a lot here. It's just really simplified. It's just not in a bad way like what 4th edition did, what they took away all your skills. They took all the bulk and unneeded crap and just ripped it out of the game. You rarely get feats. They're really all really powerful. And they're really fun to use and build your character. And all the archetypes for Paladin just seems weirdly with not that much they fleshed out an entire world more. I was surprised by that, so that's my answer.
Yeah, 5th edition is pretty nice on that respect.
Well, for me, Pathfinder, of course, because I think that's what we've probably all played the most of.
So, yeah.
This was a game we were kind of just offhandedly hanging out at someone's place back when me and Clint lived in Oregon, and we were kind of bored, and we're hey, want to play Pathfinder? Sure. You want to have an idea for a game? I was yeah, I can run one. And, we kind of go through and just doing whatever. But it got to the point where I was just making shit up on the fly. And somehow I let them finagle me into letting them roll a horse-drawn cart, into the treasury of a castle via a portal in a cave. Doesn't have to make sense. We were just playing to play. But I had to figure out how much volume gold took up, gold coins. And I had to figure out how much weight the horses could carry so they could decide how many trips they wanted to bother to do and just how much money they were making out with. You know, and of course, it's like, oh, if this keeps going on, then I'll have like a plan and whatnot. It didn't, but that doesn't stop the fact that I was like, what in the sweet heck? I didn't think I'd have to bust out the Farmer's Almanac to play Pathfinder. That's pretty much all I have. And I think that's a good place to end. Day, what is it, 8? 9. Day 9 of RPG a Day. Remember to click like or upvote, whatever you feel like.
Upvote!
Maybe subscribe. I don't know about ringing the bell. I'm kind of got a headache. I don't know that I want that ringing noise, but
Ding!
you do you. Catch you later.